Hi friends. So instead of overthinking making videos, which is what I've done in the past, I'm just going to make the videos and share with you the things that I think would enrich your life as much as they have mine. So let's see. It's 2023 and in 2019, my mother passed away. Well, if your mother's passed away, then you can relate in some way to what I'm saying. And if she hasn't, you can still think and benefit from what I'm about to say. So I always pray prayers like, Lord, wherever you're leading me, I'll just follow you. Or whatever you want to put in my life, I'm open and welcome to having it. And so this has meant that I've been on a journey of change and a journey of growth for years and years and years, because I know that the Spirit of God is like wind, so He's moving, and I don't want to be immovable. I don't want to be immovable. I want to grow and move as the Spirit of God leads, which is turned out to be a beautiful, really beautiful way to live, because it leads you to the people that you should be with. It helps you to walk away from what you should walk away from. Just there are lots and lots of things. So of course, my mother going on to be with the Lord was a huge life change for me, because she's my mom, and we had our disagreements and we weren't a lot alike, but she loved me and raised me to know Christ. So she just did right by me during my life. It was just beautiful. She did a beautiful thing by being my mother, and I loved her very much, and as much as probably anyone loves their mom. And so there was a missing voice, and I came across a podcast by a lady named Sally Clarkson. Sally Clarkson is a woman who's in her 60s. She has a podcast called something with Sally, Tea Time with Sally. Anyway, if you Google Sally Clarkson's podcast, there is so much good there. She actually became this comforting, mothering voice for me. She talked about community. She talked about being a wife. She talked about what it's like to serve Christ. She talks about what it's like to raise children, to create home. Just so many things that I'm passionate about already that she could kind of lead me in wisdom on. I've never met Sally Clarkson, but she has had a voice into my life for years now, for the last 4 years, for sure. And her stuff never gets old. She's written a book called The Life-Giving Table. I think I read a little bit of it, but mostly her twice a week or once a week voice. She has this backlog of podcast that I just kind of dove into. And honestly, my mom loved the woods, and I like to walk or exercise or whatever, and I would take these walks through the woods after my mom passed away, or just walking next to the woods. It made me feel close to her in my heart, because she just loved the woods. She just loved it. And so I would turn on Sally Clarkson podcast on my phone and put in an earbud and take these walks by myself, just 20-minute walks, 30-minute walks, and listen to Sally Clarkson while walking to the woods. And my heart was very open to hear what she had to say, because she came from the perspective of a woman who wanted what Christ wanted for her life and realized that it was tough, but she could do hard things, which is like a life motto for me. This is hard. I can do hard things. You can do hard things. We do hard things. So I would walk in the woods. I would listen to Sally Clarkson, and she would just discuss, like, what does it look like when your child has like mental illness? What about your child who who fights maybe that shadow of depression and anxiety, how do you bring them the comfort of the Lord and lead them out in a godly and loving and kind way? How do you train your teenage children that roll their eyes all the time and have trouble because their emotions are rising up, you know? These kind of things that I couldn't really talk to my mom about, but she had such a clear way of putting that I was like, me and Sally, we're like this, and she's never met me. So I wanted to share with you her name so that if you're looking for someone to listen to who can, you know, our perspective really matters, who can put your perspective in just a clear, sharp focus, she's a really good one. And I think that what we watch and what we listen to is huge. And so I'm just going to leave that there. What you watch, what you listen to, what you put before your eyes and put in your ears is really important. So maybe you give Sally Clarkson a try.